Welcome, friends, to Tanked Up, the podcast all about video games and beer. I'm one of your hosts, Ben, here with Lucy.
Hi, Ben.
Hey!
Hi.
It is episode 444. It's been a little while since we've recorded. It's been a little while since you've been on, Lucy. I think a couple of episodes.
Yeah, because I was ill the last time you lot recorded. Good old flu.
It's fun, isn't it? Right at the end of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, there's just a little bit of sun left. It's like, no, feel crappy, please. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And yesterday I felt like, is it creeping back?
Oh, no.
Am I going to have some back-to-back flus? And so I just stayed in most of yesterday.
Yeah.
Until the evening. Just playing Hollow Knight, and I feel better now.
Oh, excellent. Hollow Knight or Silk Song?
Silk Song.
Yeah.
Fair.
Cool. Let's open some beers and we'll chat about some games. Maybe that may feature. Who knows? Yes.
Yeah, we can save that for a little later.
What are you drinking this evening?
I am drinking a beer from Earth. Is that the name? Yes, Earth Ale. I've had some of their beers before.
Yep.
I'll refresh myself and refresh the listener of what Earth Ale do. We're all about bringing people together and closer to nature with beers inspired by natural and foraged ingredients. With roots in Michelin kitchens around the world, we're passionate about pairing our beers with good food and moments worth sharing. We use ancient and modern fermentation techniques and focus on seasonal limited batches so we can give every brew the handcrafted care and attention it deserves. I think these guys are into regenerative farming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is a Pine Blond. It's got a weird little mushroom on the front of it. It says a flavoursome Belgian-style pale infused with young spruce tips from Earth's Trust Forest in Oxfordshire. The lime green needles add a bright citrus and woody profile to the beer, a homage to foraging in the woods. We also use Columbus, Pacifica, and Chinook hops. Pacifica? Is that a hop?
If they say
Pacifica? So. Okay. It's just... It feels like I've heard of it before, but it's like... I don't know, as I was reading it, it was like, have I heard of this hop before?
Let's have a look. Pacifica, hoplist.com. Bred in New Zealand. Triploid aroma hop Pacifica, or Pacific Hallertau, as it's sometimes known. Okay. It's a pollination breeding of Hallertau Mittelfrau. Or Mittelfrauer. There you
go. Okay. Thank you. Yes, use Columbus, Pacifica, and Chinook hops, and a double yeast strain to add further complexity. So 330 ml, 4.5%.
Nice.
Yeah.
Something light for the evening.
Yeah, I want something light because you're going to fall asleep right after this.
Brilliant. Well, I probably am as well, but I'm going to drink a beer that's more likely to knock me out. So I'm going to go for a double IPA. This is called Hop Custard. It's a Verdant beer. It's a Verdant and Andy Votel collaboration. I don't know who Andy Votel is, but the only info I get is that it is an 8% double IPA, and it has got Citra, Eldorado, and Strata in it. I did go to Verdant. There is a bit of a bigger flavour text from them. They say it's gloopy and gorgeous, murky and magnificent. Pours hazy, golden hue with a thick, creamy head. A heady mix of tropical fruit, dank pine, and sweet citrus, thanks to the generous help of Citra and Eldorado. That's not all. Strata hops had a unique layer of complexity with notes of mango, passion fruit, and a touch of ganja dank that will leave you wanting more. This dipper isn't just about the beer. It also celebrates a new collaboration with the multi-talented Andy Votel, musician, DJ, record producer, graphic designer, and co-founder of the music label Finders Keepers Records. And then tells you about him slightly. So there you go. I did read earlier, shared in the Discord. I've seen Verdant are also doing a collaboration with Evan Dando from the Lemonheads. So they're obviously expanding who they're doing little collabs with,
Yeah.
individuals more on the sort of creative arts side of things. It seems. So yeah, interesting that's kind of what they're putting out. But that's Hop Custard.
Oh yes, that's familiar.
Yeah. So I will pour it. What should you tell us about the Earth Ales, Lucy?
Yeah, I mean, it started off very lively, but it's calmed down. Oh, yeah, it smells like nettles.
Okay.
Very light, sprucey, piney. Yeah, like lemon, lime, quite zesty smell to it. Yeah, just like a bit of like prickly needles in there as well. Nettles rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, smells good. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty hazy. It's I'd say golden, deep gold in color. Yeah, it smells great.
Nice. Is it was Yonder who were the other sort of the brewery several years ago who discussed a lot about foraging and things like that? Was it Yonder?
I don't remember Yonder being much into that.
There's definitely another brewery, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, who started up, who are very like we like handpick it, not everything obviously, but lots of stuff that goes into our beers. But yeah, I don't know why I think Yonder.
There was
someone like that.
there was Wild Beer, but they're long dead, aren't they? Because didn't they get bought by? Who did Wild Beer get bought by? Somebody.
I don't know who owns. I can't remember who it is, but then they they moved the brewery, didn't they? Again, Somerset Brewery, and they've moved it over like Kent kind of way, maybe somewhere like that.
Perhaps. Right.
Does Wild a Wander? Maybe it's Wander rather than Yonder that did.
Oh right, okay.
Foraging stuff. They are in Ashford. That's where Wild are, brewed in Curious Brewery.
Okay. I don't know who Curious are.
We should know these things.
Yes.
We're obviously up to date on brewery news of things that happened several years ago.
Too long ago to remember. Yeah, this is nice and bitter, which is very nice. But it's not. It doesn't. I think you notice the bitterness like straight away, and it certainly, but it doesn't like have a overly acrid, overly like finish to it. It's like a consistent bitterness all the way through, and it has an aftertaste of bitterness, but it's just like, oh, that's just like a nice amount of bitterness all the way through. It's not. It's very noticeable, but it's not harsh. It's not acrid. But yeah, it's got those like piney, nettly kind of notes to it, and yeah, you definitely got like zest, lemon zest, lemon lime zest, and stuff like that in the taste. Oh. Ooh, and it's got maybe even like a grapey kind of taste to it. I don't know if that's like the Pacifica hops, but it's definitely giving me like New Zealand kind of like hop characteristics, like that vinous quality to it as well. That's really nice. And it's not gonna last long. That's it's just got a, I don't know, you don't really get a lot of bitter beers these days.
Yeah.
So this is actually quite a nice surprise. But yeah, it's got like, I mean, it was a blonde ale, wasn't it? So it's got like those those yeast that you can taste like the Belgian yeast in it as well. Got like a quite like, yeah, I guess like crackers, like kind of taste to the malt as well, and it's really nice. And like some blonde ales, I mean, this is only 4.5%. I'm thinking of like some blonde ales that are like, pushing up in the percentage wise, and they've got like quite a, not a harsh finish, but it's like they're quite heavy on like the palate sometimes, and it's like, oh, need to sip this slowly because it's like feeling quite alcoholic as well.
Okay.
But this, it's just like, oh, there's enough left on the palate, especially in terms of the bitterness, to last longer. But it's just like it feels still so light, and I think it's like those kind of zesty kind of flavors,
Nice.
like the lemon, lime, and like some of those, you know, southern hops as well mixed in that just make it so refreshing, and you just want to keep drinking it. Yeah, this is really good. Really,
Brilliant.
really good.
Nice. It's a shame it's only a 330.
Yeah, it is. Because I'd happily drink like a, you know, Colonel-sized 500ml bottle of this easily. Yeah.
Brilliant. Nice. Just having a quick look at their site. Everything's in 330s. That is what they can. They've got a big range of beers. Oh no, there's actually, it looks like they do a pale in a 440. Maybe that's just the picture they have on the site. Everything else seems to be in smaller cans. Oh, and a Goza as well as a 440. But who knows? Cool, nice. I think it might have been, as I was saying, the other foraging one might have been Wander Beyond rather than Yonder. Might have been the other one, who, again, a brewery that makes some slightly bigger beers. For some reason, they're in my head. You know, as someone who also goes out and forages, and they had like seaweed and all that sort of stuff that they put in beers. And things, you know, as well as
yeah. I haven't had one of their beers in ages. I just don't see them around much anymore. Where are they based?
Who? Wander Beyond?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Up north. North of the border.
This is where my internet has gone incredibly slow. Doesn't actually tell me. On their website.
Exist in the ether.
I can put my email address in to contact them, but that's about it. No, don't know. That's their shop.
Wander Beyond don't have a...
I'm on wonderbeyondbrewing.com, and it's just taken me straight to their shop. It shows me the beers that they've got on, shipping. You can buy them. Contact is that, and then like a GDPR type thing.
Maybe that's why we don't see their beers anymore, because they don't exist apparently. They don't have a physical space.
Maybe that's it. Cool. So we'll move on to the Verdant, the Hop Custard. It's thick. It looks thick. It poured really nicely. Big white foamy head on it as it poured. It's got a big nose, as you would expect from Verdant. Lots of tropical fruit in there. Smells a little bit creamy as well, almost. Trying to think, sort of like I don't know, just creamy tropical fruit. I know it said on the flavour text some sort of dank flavours, but I'm not getting much of that from the nose. Ooh. The flavour, though, you're absolutely getting that sort of that ripe mango, a little touch of creaminess again in the flavour. But you do get that slight dank, weedy sort of bitterness towards the end. It's really light. Like it kind of takes away the tropical fruity flavours and ultimately just becomes that slightly more dank, piney finish. But it's not like a big hit of it. It's a slow kind of lead in through that kind of more ripe mango that it starts off with. The creaminess stays throughout. Interesting. It's a lovely mouthfeel. It's Verdant. It's lovely and soft. It's pillowy, as you would expect from them. But it's just a nice slow transition through that really light tropical fruit into this building kind of dankness to it, rather than sort of taking over or a bitterness really kicking in. It sort of builds quite nicely up. Smooth, soft. That's nice, but that's kind of all
Mhm.
that's happening in it at the moment.
Okay.
I've had a couple of like alcohol-free beers before this, but nothing
Okay.
big, nothing that would sort of change the flavor profile of this or push any of those flavors out. So we'll see how
Mhm.
it develops as I drink a little more of it. But at the moment, I would not tell you this was an 8% beer
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it in any way, which is nice, but incredibly dangerous, as we find with Verdant.
Mhm.
So yeah, I drink it. We'll see whether that develops anymore, whether that sort of the dank, as they call it, ganja dank,
Mhm.
comes through that little bit more. I'd expect it to be a bit bigger, if that's what they're sort of describing. But
Yeah.
we shall see. So it's been a few weeks, Lucy. We'll
Hmm.
come to you first for sort of what you've been up to, what you've been playing.
I've been playing quite a few games.
Ooh.
But the one I will focus on.
Okay.
Because some of them came out. In fact, I'll focus on two games that I've been playing. The first one is this Seat Taken?
Oh, nice.
Because
Yeah.
I finished that. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's actually what kickstarted me to get back into playing games recently. So I've been on a bit of a tear since, well, probably the first time this year, just playing multiple games in a row. But yeah, it's this Seat Taken. It's the game that I needed. It's just a nice, comforting, relaxing, wholesome. I guess they call them cozy games. Yeah, a puzzle game. It's basically a logic puzzle. Like those gridded logic puzzles.
Yep.
That you can solve. It's like that, but it's 2D form still, but wrapped in like a much nicer presentation. It's basically you're dragging and dropping all these little people who are just like shapes. And it's like, oh, this shape, this person, put on too much cologne, and they don't like loud music. And I need to place this person on a bus or in a cinema or in a in a restaurant and stuff like that. You have several characters and they all have their different wants and needs and hate likes and dislikes. It's like, oh, I want to sit at the back of the bus. I want to play loud music on the bus. Whereas another shape will be like, I want to sleep on the bus, so they can't be near the person playing loud music, or I don't like strong smells, so they can't be next to the shape that has worn too much cologne or didn't shower this morning, which is disgusting. So it's like dragging and dropping all of these little shapes into assigned seats, let's say. Yeah, and at the start, it's fairly breezy. It's fairly simple. Like there's multiple seats and there's multiple solutions to each puzzle. But then as you get further into the game, it's like, oh, there are only so many seats, and there is a specific solution to this puzzle. And yeah, and it just ramps up nice and slowly. But towards the end of the game, which is probably about 4 hours long, you are spending like 15-20 minutes maybe on each scenario, trying to puzzle and figure it out. Yeah, it's got a nice look to it, like soft, pastel colors, and it's got a nice relaxing soundtrack that just sounds like one of those YouTube playlists that you can listen to, and it's like coffee shop music. But yeah, it's like really relaxing. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time with it. It's like it does what it says on the tin. It's like I played a demo for it a few months prior to it coming out. And you kindly sent me over a code for it. And I was just like, yeah, it's that game. It's what I expected, but it's just like it does something, and it does it fairly well. I don't really have any complaints over it. There is a story in there, but it's just like it doesn't matter. It's just like it's a flavor text and just gives some, I don't know, some structure and meaning to just going through all these different levels, which are set in like different cities across the world. The only disappointing thing I will say is that the cities didn't feel distinct from one another.
Sure.
Like it's a bus in Barcelona, but how am I meant to know it's in Barcelona? It doesn't. It's not. It's no different from the bus in New York City or whatever. So, other than that, it's good. It's very good. Really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the demo as well. I think I played up to the. I didn't finish the demo. There's not a huge amount of levels. Maybe like the first couple of, there's like what 4 or 5 instances per kind of scenario, per vignette kind of thing. And I think I played up to the cinema.
Right.
I quite liked actually there's that changing sort of scenario within it. It's not just here's a bus, here's another bus, here's a limo, here's then another bus kind of thing. There's a bunch of different settings for them, which obviously then change the kind of seat layouts or how things are sort of stacked in terms of where you can place those characters.
There's a lot of variety to the different levels, to be fair. Yeah, because you do see repeating ones. Like, okay, there's usually a transport one. Airport, like, repeats itself a couple of times, but it's just like, oh, this is only like a few instances where they repeat the same setting, whereas the rest they're like all different. And so they packed a decent amount of variety in there, which is fun. You're still doing ostensibly the same thing, like moving the characters into their right seats, but that variety goes a long way to make it feel not like you're just doing the same thing over and over again for 4 hours.
Yeah, and I think it kind of, or from the demo, it gave you enough clues per character to sort of, not feel like it was that difficult. And obviously the demo is only the first few kind of levels. Did it become more difficult? Did it sort of like, did the characters stop giving you as many clues and it's more maybe on screen? Because there's a lot of animation, there's a lot of kind of character to these, to the characters themselves, and sort of facial animations and those kinds of things.
No, because what the character says, like, you get a text box for each character saying, like, I don't like strong smells. I want to sit by a window. And you have to tick. The thing is that to complete a level 100%, you have to tick off everything and make them all happy. Technically, you don't have to, and you can still move on to a next level. You can make most of them happy. But who's doing that? We're gamers here. Like, that doesn't happen. So it's, you struggle until you find the correct solution. Because I think you can get so many stars per level, and if you get all the stars each for the entire set of levels, you unlock a bonus level for that part of the world. So you don't have to, but you have to. It's, the video game part of our brains tell us we have to satisfy everyone. But yeah, like there'll be, like at the start of the game, there may just be like one condition for each character. Like, I don't like strong smells. And the next character will be like, I want to sit at the back of the bus. But then in the later levels, you'll get a character it's like, I don't like strong smells. I want to sit at the back of the bus. And I want to sleep. And I hate children. So it's like they keep stacking the conditions. So it's like you're having to juggle and move things around, and it's like sometimes it's like, okay, there's 10 characters, there's 10 seats, there's no room for like error, and you have to put them in the specific seat. Whereas like in the earlier levels, so it'd be like, okay, there's 20 seats and there's 10 characters, so I've got a bit more wiggle room, and there can be multiple solutions. So yeah, it ramps up the difficulty in that way.
Nice, good. It's definitely sort of one that I've sort of sat and thought, I enjoyed the demo, and just sort of thought, this is probably exactly as you've described it. So I think
Yes.
from the demo and from sort of what you see on Steam, it's no surprises, I suppose, from what you've
Yeah.
said about
Yeah.
it. But it seems like it would be just a nice, not necessarily quick, but a fairly chilled kind of puzzle game to get into.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
It is. Play the demo and you get what that game is within 5 minutes. And that's what I did, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to play this. When is this out?" And then it came out, and I was like, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah, and the demo's still
Yeah.
available on Steam.
Oh,
as well.
excellent!
Cool. Yeah.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Good. What else do you want to chat?
It's more. I don't know how to say this. The name of this game, or is it? Ooh, it's like O with an umlaut above it, and then 2 extra O's.
Yep.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah. Maybe.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. It's basically the name of the game is what the main character looks like, which is like a little caterpillar.
Mm-hmm. With ears, little ears.
Yeah, with little antennae looking ears. Yeah. It's not good for SEO because when I was googling it, yeah, I had to go. Ooh, Nama Takahashi, I think is the name of the developer. Steam, and that managed to bring up the game. Yeah, this is made by the same developer who made Electhead, which I played. It's either 2 years ago. It might have been. I was researching this, and I thought it was like, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. Then I looked, and it was like, oh, it was like 2021 or something stupid like that. And I was just like, what? What is time? How can that be? But yeah, it's a I guess you could call it a puzzle platformer. You are this little caterpillar, and this, that looks like a ooh shape. And you're able to lay bombs. First 1 bomb, and then soon after 2 bombs. And that is the central mechanic of the game, and it doesn't expand from there. It's like you don't get any extra power-ups, you don't get any extra abilities. That is basically it. You're a little caterpillar that gets eaten by a bird. It's all 2D, kind of like I guess it's like 16-bit looking platformer. And it's all about learning how to use the bombs to platform your way through this like 2D, almost like Super Metroid looking less detailed looking world. Yeah, it's learning the physics of the game, which is like, oh, okay, I lay this bomb, I sit on it, it's gonna launch me up in the air. Or it's like, okay, I put a bomb behind me, and it's gonna launch me laterally, to the left or to the right. And it's all about learning how I'm trying to skirt around it because I don't want to spoil it for people, because it's like, as you keep going through the game and doing the different puzzles, you start to realize, on the surface, I thought there'd only be like a couple ways to use this, use the bombs. And then you start learning, oh, there's much more than I realized.
Okay.
And it's fascinating how, like, the these little revelations are like drip fed to you throughout the game. It's like, oh, I never thought of doing it this way. Oh, I've come to a dead end. I have to backtrack. Okay. And then you learn, oh, I could have done this all along and it wasn't actually a dead end. And I had the ability to get past what I thought was that dead end. I just didn't know how to at the start. And yeah, it's just like really, really good game design, how it like ushers the player into like learning different things, like paying attention to like the different parts of the world and the different parts of like each puzzle, to be like, oh, that's how I could do that. And it's like, oh, it basically like shoves you into a corner. It's like, look, you have to complete this puzzle, you know. And it's like, okay, I must not be thinking outside the box enough, because up to this point I've been using the bombs in this way. And it's like, oh, I'm at a dead end, and it sent me backtracking. It's like, oh, I have nowhere else to go. It's obviously telling me I need to figure out a different way to use these bombs to progress. So yeah, it's just it's as I say, it's like it's just a really good way of like focusing on game design, where it's just like, okay, we've got one central mechanic, don't really need to, you know, expand on this. We're gonna like hone this mechanic and figure out how to take advantage of it the most we can. It's like, okay, you know, obviously it's not a game with a big budget. It's like it's not like AAA game design where they just throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. It's like, here you go. Here are all the mechanics. It's like, no, it's just like, okay, we're going to drill down into one central one and just like kind of like just you know, just like test the limits of what it can do. Within the physics of the within the game, and yeah, slowly dole out the knowledge to the player on how to like use like think outside the box and use the bombs to your advantage. And yeah, it's probably about 4 hours long. I think I completed it. And it's just really good. It's just probably one of my favorite things that I've played so far this year. It's just like, it's just so expert in the way it does it. And Elechead was the same way, where it's like, okay, one central mechanic, and that was like based on like, okay, you're a little robot boy with a head that can detach and conduct electricity. And that whole game was just that one central mechanic as well. And it's just like, oh, let's, you know, test the limits of this mechanic. And yeah, it's a follow up to that, and it's just as good. It's fantastic little game.
Nice. I did see on the Steam page, it's well, one of the tags is Metroidvania, and I can see there's a map to it as well. The puzzles look like they're kind of like single screen puzzles. So you kind of working through this map, and each room as such has its own its own puzzle to it and its own solution. And are you kind of, is there any Metroidvania kind of elements to it? If there's not a sort of new abilities to kind of get, but you're learning the language of how you can sort of manipulate the single mechanic that you've got. Is it more a case of, oh, I've hit a room and I don't know how to get through this, I have to come back to it? Or did you kind of go, actually, there is a way to do it, I just haven't learned how to manipulate it yet?
Yeah, the latter. And it is a Metroidvania in like the loosest sense of the word, where it's like, instead of getting a new ability, it's just new knowledge that you're acquiring. And yeah, most of the puzzles are like small single instances, but then there are like, as I'm saying, without going into spoiler territory, there are things that will span like bigger parts and multiple screens, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to spoil it. So it's just like, yeah, it's just part of some of the revelations that you get throughout the game. So
nice. It looks great. It looks like as you say, it's more 16-bit, but it's got that kind of maybe like Downwell kind of use of sort of like a couple of colors on a screen, rather than it being say 16-bit and using every color it possibly can within that sort of thing. It definitely takes a certain sort of aesthetic per room as such.
And the animation's like better than those games were. And as you say, like simple color scheme, but it's like they're just really pop and quite bright and neon, and it's got a real good look to it and good sound to it as well.
Brilliant. Nice. I really like the aesthetic for it. I think it'd
Mhm.
be interesting to see how, as you say, that different use of the bombs and your knowledge kind of grows as you get more difficult kind of levels that you run through. The one sort of last thing I'll ask is, are you
Mm.
triggering the bombs when you do things? So is there a sense of, like, not necessarily
Yes.
twitch reaction, but there is a reaction sort of element to it?
Yeah, they're not on like a countdown.
Right.
I think it's just like 2 buttons to the game, played on Steam Deck. You lay the bomb, and then you trigger it
Mhm.
when you want to.
Nice.
Mhm.
Good. Something, I suppose it's not similar in this sort of sense, but actually similar to Downwell, but the opposite I've been playing is Exit the Gungeon,
Oh,
which is you're
yeah,
not kind
that
of going
came
down and
out.
shooting stuff. It's more you are going through. You're actually going up, but you go on
Right.
a lift, and it takes you to a level. And on the lift, there's enemies to sort of fight. And I'm playing it on my phone, which I'm
Okay.
not a fan of.
Did that come out on anything else? Because I was
Ooh.
like, wasn't that like a Apple Arcade game or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. Exit the Gungeon is on Steam.
Okay.
It looks almost exactly the same as it looks on my phone. But for people who don't know, it's the sequel to Enter the Gungeon, which was
Mhm.
a bullet hell game. Loads of upgrades to it. It's kind of a roguelike. It's all about multiple
Mhm.
runs and those kinds of things. And Exit the Dungeon is similar in that it is a bullet hell. It's about multiple runs. You're building up your repository of, or actually no, in Enter the Gungeon, you're building your repository of different guns. Exit the Gungeon, there is an element of the gun will every so often cycle through different guns for you automatically. And I don't know if the phone version is the same as, say, the Steam version, or any other, whether it's on consoles or not. But it's interesting in that you don't have to shoot. It almost automatically shoots for me on the phone.
Got you.
So it's more
Right.
about the movement. It's very much more like Vampire Survivors, that kind of thing. It's getting out of the way of enemies or bullets or things flying across the screen. You can dodge, you can jump. Jumping and dodging move you through the bullets. So you have that ability to kind of not think. And as Enter the Gungeon did, Exit the Gungeon is the same, where you have multiple bullets on the screen at all times. And so you're trying to potentially like dodge through, double jump through things, jump down through platforms.
Roll through them.
But you get essentially on an elevator. So things drop down, enemies appear.
Right.
So you've got this constant sense of motion, but realistically, it doesn't quite work like that. You're not on a lift and an enemy shoots, and because you're on the lift, the bullet drops down. It just stays on the same plane.
Right.
So really, if you think of it in the way that the only thing that's moving is, say, the sides of the level rather than the lift itself, everything feels, and the enemies don't sort of, don't jump off and drop really far because they've jumped off the lift kind of thing. Everything is is still within that kind of that box. So the physics don't quite work as being on a lift. But there are also some sort of static levels as well. The lift stops and you go into a room. So you've got some levels that are sort of more akin to a standard kind of bullet hell game like this. I think the boss battles are more in the rooms than they are on the lift, although there are bigger enemies that drop in on the lift every now and again. But I've not put a huge amount of time into it. I've unlocked some characters.
How did you stumble upon this?
I went onto the Android store. I can't remember. Oh, I had to update something. So a game on there, or no, it wasn't even a game on there. Some app popped up and said it needs an update. Go to the store. I did, and I don't know why it was in the related things, but essentially I saw it and was like, cool, I'll try this. And on Was it free? I think it's free. But
Okay.
you then pay when you get to a certain point. So I've got to
Yeah.
the point where I should pay, I think, and I don't really want to because I'm not enjoying it that much. It doesn't give me anywhere near the same enjoyment that Enter the Gungeon did.
Right. Okay.
Enter the Gungeon, I think, was it came out of a time when we had not a lot of bullet hells, but bullet hell wasn't a sort of a new thing necessarily. But it had that kind of and it's a Devolver game. It had that humor to it. All of the guns and weapons and things like that are over the top and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Enter the Gungeon is more top down.
Yes.
And whereas Exit the Gungeon is like side view.
Side view.
So it's a bit of a shift in perspective. But it maintains that humor, the way the characters talk to you, the different kinds of guns that you get, the sense of, oh my god, everything's exploding. You have to exit now because it's all going to fall down. But just chill out a little bit. Don't worry about it. Go and have a look at the chat to these people and these kinds of things. It plays with that kind of humor level a little bit as well. But I just, I'm not enjoying it anywhere near as much.
Yeah, because I didn't play much of Enter the Gungeon because of the roguelite structure, but it felt good, so I can going from that feeling to then, you're less in control and you're more swiping on like a touch screen. Seems a bit like it takes what was good about Enter the Gungeon, even for someone who didn't play much of it. The movement was good, so that came around and I forgot about that.
It's on
when
Steam,
you said you were,
it's a 2020 game. Exit the Gungeon is 2020, so it's been out for 5 years on Steam.
I don't understand this timeline, so I'm just gonna ignore that comment.
It's a COVID game, obviously. Yeah, no, I know. I don't know when it came out on Android. Let me try and find out.
I don't know. I don't understand anymore. Yeah, when you're talking about you were playing a up game opposite of downwell, I thought you was going to talk about Pointy.
Oh, I remember. We talked about that a while back.
Which is another mobile game. I think that was Netflix.
I was going to say, I think that's a Netflix one. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I've liked the two things I played on Netflix games. That was a good one.
It was.
I hope that comes to Steam.
Exit the Gungeon came out on Android on the 14th of August. So it's incredibly recent for me on my phone.
It might as well have just come out in 2025 because there's no way it came out in 2020. That doesn't make any sense. Weird.
Yeah, weird. Absolutely. Good. But
what else have you been playing?
It kind of I've been playing a few things, to be fair. Not everything. I'll mention a few other things. One thing I will mention I've played but won't talk about in any way whatsoever because I fucking hated it. Was Destiny Rising, which again was on my phone, and it is the new Destiny game from NetEase rather than from Bungie. It's a mobile game. It's very, it's third person. You're moving through the environment. It again is a bit of an auto shooter in terms of I'm not really aiming. I'm just sort of tapping and moving.
Just cut what I said about Enter the Gungeon into this conversation as well, because I didn't play Bungie because I don't like not Bungie. I didn't play Destiny because I don't like space. But the one thing I can understand about Destiny is that it feels good.
Yep.
So why would you take the one good thing about Destiny and put it on mobile and not have the one good thing anymore.
Yeah,
Again,
it didn't feel good. I didn't like the
no.
controls again. Holding one end of my screen to kind of move around, and the other one for sort of controls, and then tapping stuff for shooting or for like different melee attacks and like a special
Oh
attack, and
god.
having to press slightly different bits of my screen
I
to be
will
able to do
save
it.
this for, because I think we shall save this for when a deal's back. But I had to play Roblox on an iPad, and we'll save that for another one. Because it's bad enough playing Roblox, and the first time I ever played it, and it's like hot garbage. But playing it on iPad, because briefly, I had to play it because that's what my nephew's into. I'm going to see if he still likes it a week from now, because I will have to go into the settings to make sure he can't spend money or talk to anybody.
Sure. Yep.
So I'll see if he's still into it, and then get the hazmat suit and go back into Roblox just to lock it down. But I think he understood that the games are made frustrating purposefully to get money out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think even in his 6-year-old mind, he recognized that. So I'm playing things that are just purposely frustrating on an iPad with iPad controls is even worse. Yeah, we'll get into Roblox another time. Hot trash.
Good.
Trash.
So one game which I have played, I played all the way through. Again, similar to the games you played, it's only a 4-hour experience, but it's possibly the most polished thing I played for a little while. Was Sword of the Sea, which is the giant squid game. They're the developers who have made Pathless and Abzu, and I think their creative director did Journey as well. It builds on all of those games. Builds on every game that they have made so far. So you are essentially moving through the environment similar, or not moving necessarily, not the actual action of moving by the character. Going through the environment similar to sort of Journey. You are kind of making your way through the environment, almost up a mountain towards a tower. It's incredibly atmospheric. The lighting is lovely in this game, as it was in Journey and Abzu as well. I haven't played the Pathless, so I can't sort of speak much to that.
I tried it on iPad and it ran terribly. So I think that's on other platforms now.
Yes.
So I'd try the Pathless.
Yeah, I think it was what's the Pathless? Maybe a PS4 game rather than this generation. No, not PS5 and latest Xbox. I think it was a PS4, Xbox One game. But in Sword of the Sea, you are basically sort of rewilding the land that you're in, but with sea, with water, with sea creatures, and a lot of these creatures. You're not necessarily in the water like Abzu, so you're not moving in a sort of a vertical sort of space. You basically use your sword as a surfboard, and you float across. You surf across the landscape a lot, and that feels really nice. But it's maybe more like a skateboard than it is a surfboard, because you can do tricks. So you can ollie ultimately, and grab and hold and spin and do a few other things. Not that these really mean anything. Kind of
melons.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you what you're doing. You can hold it, and you're like, oh, I've done a kickflip. But it's there are a few. So yes, you're moving through the environment. You're rewilding the environment kind of as you go, with the destination of getting to this tower, and rewilding as you get to that kind of point. But there are a few little trick areas throughout the game. So within each kind of environment, with each sort of level that you go on, there is one that's a half pipe. There's one that is a bunch of jumps and grinds and things like that. And you do sort of trick attacks to essentially get a currency. And as you're moving through the environment, jumping on things, moving through the environment, finding special little areas and rewilding those, little like sort of secret areas and things like that, will give you more currency. And then you can visit a character who you give your currency to, and they will give you another ability, whether it's a grab hold or something like that. None of that feels necessary. You could go through this entire game without doing any of those trick areas, without really upgrading the character, and kind of just going through platforming ultimately and moving across the environment.
Is this a open world, or is it? Because Journey was more level by level, wasn't it? And
this is more like Journey. It's kind of level by level.
Right.
You are sort of in an environment, and they're quite big environments.
Yeah.
Journey was almost like a kind of a wide corridor for a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is a bit different. It's more like you're in this kind of area, and then you can make your way through to this next area, and you do a bunch of stuff there, and it will bring you back to that first area. Then you can move into a third area and do a bunch of stuff there, and then it'll bring you back into that first area. And that's then when you can progress through to the next level. When you've done the thing you need to do in area 2 and the thing you need to do in area 3, it unlocks the next level in area 1. And the game basically plays like that a lot the way through. It changes a little bit in terms of how that interconnectivity kind of works, but it's all very, very similar in what it's sort of doing. But it's got a nice range of, not necessarily biomes, because a lot of them are the same, but sort of landscapes, ranging from sort of a desert to almost a floating sort of city, like an underground almost floating sort of city, and a few other sort of areas. And they all feel distinct. They all feel really nice. The aesthetic of them is really good. They have their own atmosphere. Everything felt like this is a game that feels really good, and the movement is lovely. And I don't know whether this is my own issue. I didn't feel that same sense of connection that I did with Journey. And Journey very much makes you feel, even though that's a game about connection in a way where you can meet another character, which is being played by another character, sort of within one of those maps and on your way. Sort of the sea, you are a single character, not meeting other players, but you do meet another character who you journey with for a little bit, and there's some story around them joining you and leaving and those kinds of things. But it didn't have that kind of feeling of isolation or connection. It didn't necessarily have a feeling that me going through the world rewilding was really doing anything, or that there was kind of a purpose really to this. There's lots of exposition that you can find within stones. So you can go up to these stones and you send out, one of the abilities is sending out like a little blast, and it will either rewilds when you need it to, kind of at certain points, or it will allow you to read these stones. And so there's lots of nice backstory to it, kind of telling you about the world, why maybe the things you're about to encounter were there or were dormant and have now kind of come up. And there's a few other, you're not just surfing around. There's a couple of bits where you can actually ride some of the animals. So there's a dolphin. Once you've rewilded, there's a bunch of different bigger sea creatures that kind of just float around the environment. You can jump on them and ride them, which might take you to a higher point to get a collectible or get a bit more exposition or something like that. But nothing really connected. And it's kind of a game where actually I think after 4 hours, I was
interesting.
like, yeah, this is fine. I've beaten it in 4 hours. I'm okay with this. Like it's free on PlayStation Plus, so I won't complain in any way about its length. But really, it sort of was like, I could have played another level. This could have been 4.5, maybe 5 hours, and I would have felt the same. If this was 8, I think it would have started to drag a little bit. Not having that same, that same sort of engagement with the story, and those kinds of things. I think even Abzu felt a little more connection with it than with Sword of the Sea.
Yeah, I like Tabsy. I mean, it's interesting because it's like it's hard for them to escape. Like we are the X Journey people.
Yeah.
What are a few of the X Journey people? And it's like, how many times do you go back into that well of like, you know, could they have done the like multiple instance, like multiple characters, like you're playing with somebody else without it just feeling kind of derivative? You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's interesting. So, like, obviously, it's you know, like a lot of games, like we're restoring the land, because we're in the real world heading towards the
Uh-huh.
apocalypse, with climate change and everything. So, it's interesting. Like, did gosh, what was that climbing game from Ubisoft that we really enjoyed last year?
Jusant?
Yes,
Mm.
because I really liked the story of that. Like just like reading the notes and stuff like that found in the world, and I thought it did a really good take on
Yep.
like on like climate change and having to deal with the effects of that and how boomers basically ruined it for everybody. And just telling the young people to just get on with it. I really enjoyed that. I didn't expect to, um, dig that game on that level as much as I did. So did you not get like, compared to Jusant, did you feel the way about Jusant? Like maybe not as much as I did,
No,
but
I think I did. I
mm,
think I definitely connected with
mhm,
that more so than I have done with Sword of the Sea. I think for
mm,
two reasons. One, I think the character was more endearing in
right,
Jusant. That there was a little bit more kind of connection. Sword of the Sea is sort of a teardrop
faceless
or
kind of, right,
a, a water droplet falls and it brings to life a statue. That is
right,
you.
okay,
And essentially, that happens, you jump on your sword, and you go. Son had a
yeah,
bit more, the characters walking through the desert,
yeah,
they get to
yeah,
the big kind of environment that you're going to be climbing up. But also, Jasont had a level of tension to
hmm,
it. It wasn't sort of, oh, I'm just climbing this thing, here I am. There was lots of sort of environmental factors or timing factors or things that were happening as you were climbing to
yeah,
make you feel a bit of peril. Sword of the Sea was a bit too easy in just being like, well,
yeah,
there's nothing
yeah,
in this environment that's going to really do anything to me. I'm just kind of
yeah.
casually surfing around, having a lovely time, and
It's
I can go and do this thing, and I've done that.
interesting.
Great. There is an enemy right at the end of it, which I think
Mm-hmm.
again kind of pulled away slightly. I think if Sword of the Sea had maybe a bit more of that in it, whether it was a couple of additional sort of bosses or something like that, just something that
Yeah,
made it feel a bit more
yeah. Connect
perilous or
you
a bit
to
more
the
connecting.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, absolutely to the character and to the
hmm,
plight of the world as well. It's
yeah,
just like cool. You're in the desert, make the water flow.
hmm,
Okay, I will. Sure, why not?
yeah.
Whereas Jasant was like, this character's kind of like, I want to find out what's happened. I'm in the same position
Yeah.
as you. You have that instant kind of connection of being like, well, they want to know and we want to know as well. Great,
Hmm, hmm.
let's do this sort of thing.
And I
And
guess you've got more agency over that character in Jusant. It's interesting because when you think about it, like Journey, you were like a faceless, like
yes,
kind of being. Maybe it's like having that other player and seeing like basically the way that another human controls that character gave you that kind of like reflection of like, oh, character, like, and
yep,
to appreciate the characters a bit more. So I'm sure there's some essays done about Journey because,
absolutely.
like, everybody loved that game.
Well,
I think I played it a few years after it came out, but yeah, it's a great game.
it is, and I don't necessarily think
Mhm.
that with Journey there's a sense of peril, but there is
No,
there's a mechanical kind of means to making you feel slightly differently. So with Sword of the Sea, there are some story beats that happen that could feel for some people like a connecting moment, and those they didn't hit for me. But they're story scenes. They're not kind of you don't have that agency to experience them as you're trying to do something. With Jasant, you do very much. With Journey, from memory, you are bounding around the environment, doing your jumps, singing. You see the other character in the distance, and then you can kind of connect with them and move through the environment together. But it was that kind of the later levels where you're walking up the higher parts of the mountain, where the wind is whipping down and it's snowing, and your character cannot move the same as they did in those previous. You are walking at such a slow pace that it's that little bit more hitting in terms of being like, oh shit, my agency ultimately, in the sense of movement that I had, has been taken away from me now.
Yeah.
I'm experiencing this as the character is experiencing this, past being in a 4D cinema and having wind actually blowing at you kind of thing. It has that, and I think Journey does a very good job of making you feel like you are with that character.
What if I told you that game was like 13 years old?
Oh man,
how do you feel?
I know.
Maybe we're just too old and jaded.
That's probably what it is. I can't remember. Did Journey come out the same year as The Last of Us, or is it like the year before?
I think it was the year before.
Yeah.
I think it was 2012.
I think those two games sort of almost for me like followed each other, almost in my experience of them, and both being like just harder, slightly harder hitting, let's say. I think Journey.
It's because we're dead inside now.
We just play too many games, man. That's it.
So some 20-year-old is playing Sword of the Sea, and it's like, oh my god. Whereas we're like, I was doing kickflips in Tony Hawk in 1999, and just
maybe it is a little bit of that, because again, Sword of the Sea in a way also reminded me slightly of Flower, which again was a PlayStation game around the same kind of time, all about the movement through the environment, about rewilding as well.
Yeah.
You're a petal or a bunch of petals kind of floating through the environment, and in a similar way, kind of triggering the environment to regrow in some kind of way. But again, Flower seemed that little bit more connecting as well. Maybe it is an age thing. Maybe there's a time kind of thing in the amount of experiences that we've sort of had now. One thing about Sword of the Sea, which was incredibly standout, is the aesthetic and the engine and the lighting and that sense of movement is very good and very fun. The soundtrack as well, really good. It feels like it's, I don't know whether it is, but it very much felt like it's, I can't remember what you call it, where it kind of rises and falls with sort of what you're doing in the environment.
Yeah.
It's sort of one of those responsive, it feels like it's a bit more of those responsive sort of soundtrack, where you could just be sort of floating around and it'd be very, very low, and then you go and do something and it lifts that kind of little bit.
I don't know musical terms.
No,
Leitmotif, I don't know. Maybe a deal would probably know.
Well, it's more the technical sort of idea behind it, that you could, I could sit here for an hour just spinning around on my surfboard, just in the corner of the thing, and the music wouldn't swell or move or go up in the volume. But then you start to move through the environment.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
That'll do.
It probably is dynamic. I was going to say for lack of a better term, but that's probably what it is. But yeah, there are some very good points about this. I just didn't connect with it as I think I would, as I wanted.
I mean,
to.
that makes me more want to try it, because I don't want a sad game for these sad times. So because that came out last month?
Yes, a few weeks back.
Yeah. I didn't see much about it, but maybe that I just haven't had my ear to the ground or something like that. But yeah, I'd put in a relaxing, soothing game like that.
Yeah,
that isn't going to make me cry. I'd play that.
Looking at the one of the things about it was, obviously trophies popping as I'm sort of playing through the game, and thinking to myself, oh, is this a game I enjoy enough to go back and platinum? And some of the trophies for it are, and I don't know whether this tells me a little bit about the sort of the development and whether there is that sense of connection. One of the trophies is the speed run, to play the game in 2 hours. So ultimately, you're not doing that exploration. You're not going after those secret areas. You're not finding the sort of the exposition and those kinds of things. It's just blast through this as quickly as possible. Have that more
SSX tricky.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Have that more kind of like snowboard, skateboarding kind of experience. You go and do your tricks, jump off things, rewild the small bits you need to, essentially just to get through the next gate to progress sort of through it. And it's a hard thing to sort of balance potentially.
What's that? What was that Ubisoft game? Where you were like snowboarding and.
Steep.
What's that?
The one where you're on the mountain and you can like paraglide, maybe not paraglide, but you can snowboard, you can ski,
paraglide,
you can, like, wingsuit. Yeah.
I remember trying the demo of that. I was at the top of this mountain. It's like, oh, go paraglide down, and go to that thing that you see off in the distance. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and open my parachute paraglide, and then immediately just face and my character, not even joking, slid down face first. Looking just like a corpse for about 10 seconds, just slid down the mountain. It was like the wasted, like in GTA. Just like in fact, bang. I'm sure I've still got a video of it, and it's excellent. So
oh mate, you should pull it out if you can.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I was just like, yeah, this game isn't for me. I'm just like, uninstall the demo.
It definitely needed, like, Steep was kind of Ubisoft's, almost when they were bringing things like The Crew and stuff like that out. It's like, we want a snowboarding game. We want one where you can play with 400 other people. And you're all on the mountain.
Full on multiplayer.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. You could sort of. I'm pretty sure you could see other characters or other players, sort of within it. Whether you could in the open world or whether it connected you in terms of like the races and the events and things like that, I don't remember from the top of my head. But it's definitely the Division, Steep, The Crew,
right.
All of those kinds of games where Ubisoft jumped into like this multiplayer. Like you can play a single player. But here is a connected kind of world which you should play with other people. So, an interesting time for Ubisoft.
Yeah, and now they've just sold off all their, some of their good IP.
Mate, they sell some games to like.
Was it Embracer or somebody like that?
Someone really. Or
was it Atari?
Atari. Someone really.
Was it Atari? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Grow Home was part of that sort of
Child of Light, I think. Don't know what the other one was. I think they're still clutching Rayman. Weird. I think Ubisoft is just in a weird place because I mean, I think their last couple of years have been well documented, and some of the. Not missteps because they've been putting out games, but games that just haven't hit as much as they've wanted to. So
yeah,
interesting.
Very much things like Star Wars Outlaws as well, which didn't do very well. Here we go. They sell 5 old games to Atari: Cold Fear, I Am Alive, Child of Eden, Grow Home, and Grow Up. And the vice president of new business at Atari, or maybe not, that's not Atari, but millions of players have experienced these worlds over the years, and this will open the door for long-time players to revisit those memories while inviting new audiences to discover them for the first time. Imagine Ubisoft sat on these games and these licenses going, we're not going to do anything with them. Let's get some cash together. I think you're right that they sold some games to Embracer or to somebody else as well, didn't they? Some of their sort of smaller licensed or the smaller IPs that they weren't going to maybe do much with. So, interesting. Ubisoft selling stuff. Getting around. I know they've been trying to sell the company at large for quite a while. But
Mhm.
yeah, maybe parceling things off now instead, and just trying to get rid of. It's when they suddenly come out and say, Beyond Good and Evil 2, it's not made. It's only like 20% complete, but we've sold it. It's gone off to somebody else now.
Yeah,
You'll never see that game.
Weird. Did that get like reviewed? No, I'm not even going to bother. Speculate what happened with that game. It's not coming out.
No, it's definitely not coming
Yeah.
out. The only other thing I'll mention, and maybe I'll talk about it when I finished it. I've gone back to playing Mafia, the original Mafia, but
the remastered
version of it, because I was looking at the old country, which came out again a month or so ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't remember playing the first and second games. Very much remember playing the third game, which was maybe 6 years ago now, maybe.
Probably more.
I don't remember playing the third game, the first and second. So I'll try the first game. And I'm like, I definitely didn't play this. I was expecting that kind of more open world sort of thing, but it's so
no,
not at all.
Very linear.
Yeah, yeah.
Both 1 and 2 are.
I'm kind of enjoying that, like coming off the back of Death Stranding and stuff like that. I'm like, actually, just playing through this is kind of good. It's a bit janky, and the controls aren't great, and the voice acting's
originally
very, and the portrayal of Italian Americans in the 30s is a little bit, but it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to play it through and see how it develops as it gets through. Maybe I'll jump into Mafia 2. Maybe not straight afterwards, but perhaps before I then go to play the old country, which is set, I think, before Mafia.
Yes. Yeah. If you're enjoying 1, you'll enjoy 2 because it's pretty much the same thing, right? And I remember playing it, and bless me, I was like, is that it? It's a bit short. Is it not really much is going on? And then instead of being like going on to forums on like IGN, some weirdos do, I was just like, but I still enjoyed it, and that was it.
Yeah.
Even like, I paid for this game as a uni student with not a lot of money.
Yeah.
I was like, that was short, but I enjoyed it. Moving on.
Nice.
Yeah. Whereas back then, it'd be like, so short, dead game, 7 out of 10.
Exactly. I need my 40-hour open world, Mafia game.
So those games have always been that, and ironically, the one that they made that was open world and Mafia 3. Which I really enjoy. I enjoyed the open world bit because it was just like so paint by the numbers, so mindless. Put on a podcast and feed people to crocodiles kind of game. But the story in that game is probably one of the best stories that I've played probably in the last. Well, it's probably like 10 years now because I'm sure that game's over 5 years old at this point. It probably came out in like 2018.
Mate, on Steam, 2020.
Oh, okay. Not as old as I thought then. Yeah, but the story in that one was really good.
Oh, that must be a remastered. So as a search, 2016.
Jesus Christ. Basically 10 years old. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, really good story, and I thought it was funny, like the actor in that is like the same guy in like that game that bombed, like the Mind's Eye game or something that was made like ex Rockstar.
Oh, the one that came out like a couple of like a month or so. Okay, right.
Yeah. I know nothing about that game, but I saw every like still of it I see when they're just talking about how it bombed. I was like, oh, that's that same actor who's in like Mafia 3.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah. I was like, maybe they just like took the motion capture footage and were like, here you go. We'll help you out.
That's meant to be part of like a bigger world type thing, and the idea is that you're
a Mind's Eye cinematic universe.
Well, I think it's something else, cinematic universe, and Mind's Eye is part of that. And they're going to do a bunch of other
Gotcha.
stuff kind of within it. But
Of course they
maybe
are.
they're not
They're not
now.
just going to get shut down.
Maybe they're not now.
Yeah. I don't think that studio's. They're probably cleaning out their desks as we speak. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't realize on Steam,
Mhm.
it was published by IO Interactive.
Oh, was it?
Yes, but the developer is Build a Rocket Boy. And you can buy that
Interesting.
game, and you can buy a bunch of additional skins.
I didn't know
and
IO
things.
published games other than their own. Interesting. All right.
I don't know what else they might have published outside of this. Again, clicking on Steam as IO Interactive, they're called IO Interactive Partners. Only this comes up on Steam, so maybe they won't publish anything after this apart from their own.
Yeah,
their
I
own
mean,
games.
burned the first time. Just like, nah. Dipped our toes, not for us.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
just publish Hitman Blood Money for the rest of the time.
Yeah,
and
we'll
that's it.
we'll put everything into the new James Bond thing, and then we won't worry about anything else. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked into that. Still need to finish Hitman 3.
Let's have a quick look. Mind's Eye game. Because other things are going to come up when you put in Mind's Eye instead, and it's probably better to go to Build a Rocket Boy. Mind's Eye. If you go to their website, it tells you can buy it, you can upgrade it. Here's some things. It's a narrative campaign. Here's some gameplay. New monthly content. May not be coming out for it anymore. But
That says it on their website.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
It'd be good to give everyone a heads up if it was going to. Yeah, I'm sure this is part of a bigger universe, isn't it? But I can't find any information on the website to suggest that it is part of a bigger universe.
I hate that. Like, make your universe after your first game comes out and is maybe a success. I mean, have high and lofty goals, sure, but like, don't be like, oh yeah, it's part of a universe that we're gonna make, and like,
so
you haven't even cleared the first hurdle.
Yeah.
Do that first.
Everywhere is there kind of is the thing. I can't find much information on it, but it's just pinged into me everywhere, which is going to be like an MMO, but like I'm pretty sure like linked into all of these different games. So whether it's not a shared universe, but it's more of a not necessarily like Roblox where you can go in and build your own games, but it's more like a shared universal platform where you can go, cool, we could launch Mind's Eye, which is in, it's in the universe. You could launch this game, which is this bit of it, and you could launch this game, which is this bit of it.
Is this what games are now?
Well,
because I want no part of it. Like, no, I don't want to download a 250 gigabyte launcher to play Mind's Eye. No. And then something else, some other crap game. I don't want that. No, thank you.
So, just as again, like, information, you've got to go to like 4 different websites to get information on anything these fucking days.
I mean,
this is just buried. Everything is buried because they're like, no, don't tell anybody about it anymore. Just wipe it from the internet, please. Let's not allow people to sort of look at it. But if you put in as a search, Build a Rocket Boy Games, you get their website, you get their Twitter account, you get Wikipedia. You go to IGN, and it pings up their 2 games, Everywhere and Mind's Eye. And if you click on Everywhere, it gives you a very, very short summary. And then it just gives you news articles about Mind's Eye and other stuff. An article from 2023. Everywhere developer confirms it will not use blockchain or NFTs. Like, how far have we
very
moved
much
away?
Yeah, it's very much a venture capitalist just threw some money at it in 2020.
Absolutely,
and that came
absolutely.
out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a reveal trailer again back from September of 2023. Nothing, no news since then about Everywhere, at least on IGN. I'm sure we could search everywhere games and see what comes
Better
up.
off just throwing your money into the Mariana Trench. Throw it down there. Fish might do something with it.
Or build another submarine and be a millionaire and go around to look at what happened to the last submarine that went down by the last millionaire. Just a steady stream of people just being too curious. Like on the motorway where everyone slows down because there's been a crash because they just want to look. I'm like, fuck, I don't care, just go, drive, motherfuckers. Not that I'm speeding down to the Mariana Trench for anything, but good. Let's finish there for this week. We'll return back to our beers. Lucy, the Earth, is it Earth Ales? Earth Ale.
Earth
beers,
Ale, the Pine Blond. Oh, I still got some left.
Nice.
Oh, look at that in the can. Yeah, it was really good. As I say, I think I've had 1 or 2 beers from this brewery before. Yeah, just interesting flavors. It tastes like, a typical blonde ale, but like, they've spruced it up a bit, and like, I think those like limey and lemony just really bring some like, levity and refreshment to it, rather than being quite a. The thing with blonde ales, it's just like they have I don't want to say acrid. It's not an acrid taste, but they are very. They're very. I wouldn't even say harsh on the palate, but it's like very distinctive. Whereas this just feels a little bit more pared back, and yeah, with those more like lighter notes to it, it's just a lot more. It just makes for an easier like kind of quaff. It's like, okay, I got through it fairly quickly because it's like, it's still sitting on the palate, but it's so nice and refreshing that I just want to keep going back to it. Whereas like a lot of other blonde ales, it's just like, especially like, if we're talking about, like German or Dutch, like stronger beers, it's just like, ooh, or Belgian rather. It's just like, ooh, I don't need to. I can just sip on this for at least an hour. Whereas this, yeah, just wanted to keep drinking it.
Nice.
It's nice, and it's got that underlying bitterness all throughout it, which is great. Yeah. I only see them in one, so it's a bit hard to get my hands onto them.
Okay.
But you said that if I can buy straight from their website, I might try doing that if they've got a good range as well. Because as I say, it's like only once in a while I pick them up.
Could I buy straight from their website? It definitely listed the beers. Web shop. Yeah, they've got a web shop you can go to. So
I might do that.
Buy a range of beers. Their web shop currently has a mixed 6-pack. They've got a non-alcoholic beer. They've got barley wine. They've got a stout, a goza, a pale, a New Zealand IPA, an amber, the blonde you drank, and then another goza which is a collab. So yeah, a range of beers to drink.
I will look into that. You just caused me to spend some money.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Nice. The Verdant then didn't really build any more. The flavor profile I described at the beginning was exactly what I got kind of all the way through, like solidly all the way through. Like none of those flavors have dipped really, which is great because it's still maintaining kind of everything that it was showing me at the beginning, but nothing kind of developed really. I've still got a tiny bit left. I haven't actually bashed through this as quickly as I thought I would. But it's still that nice kind of little bit of ripe mango. The passion fruit maybe is the thing that's dipped off a little bit. So that bit of creaminess perhaps has gone slightly. And the move into the danker kind of pineness is dulled a touch, but not much. But it maybe isn't quite lasting as long as it was at the beginning. That's maybe the only difference with this. That the tail was a little bit longer towards sort of the start of the beer than it is now. Maybe more my palate just becoming acclimatized to it. But it's lovely. It's soft. It's super pillowy. It's a lovely flavour. It's a nice little move from a sort of a more ripe mango into that sort of danker kind of finish. And you can't tell it's 8%. I can't tell it's 8% at all. Apart from maybe a slightly more medium kind of body. It's got a little heft to it, but just a touch. That's maybe it. But yeah, very nice. Very good beer from Verdant, but kind of
what do you expect?
As expected.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good. So, they're the beers and the games that we have enjoyed. If you want to talk to us, you can go to outoflives.net to comment on the podcast post, or go to Out of Lives YouTube page to comment there if you really want to see our faces and see the beers that we have been drinking. You can get us individually in a variety of places. I'm Nova47 on Blue Sky. Lucy is
Juicy Loose 9. Also on Substack, I think I'm Juicy Loose 9, which I started writing for a little bit more after like 18 months.
Yeah, did you?
Not writing for it.
What did you write about? Because I know you mentioned that you'd put something up as well.
I've written about This Seat Is Taken.
Right.
Ooh. And I think there's another one. What did I recently write about? Or maybe I've just got that stuck in my drafts. Just go over there. You'll find out. You'll find out. Oh, cheese rolling. Which,
Oh.
Do you not know about cheese rolling, Ben?
The actual physical act down the hill.
Yes, there's a game based on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Of course there is.
It's like 100 megabytes on like Steam. Go download it onto your Steam Deck.
It's free.
You will enjoy it.
It's free as well.
Yeah. Go.
Oh, mate. When you said it was a
game literally lasts 10 seconds. So just go.
When you said it was a game, the picture in my head of what it is, or what it would have been, is exactly what it is. Right, done. I'm playing this.
Yeah. Put it on your Steam
library.
Deck.
Yep. Brilliant. Nice. I do
as
enjoy
I say, each game is like 10 seconds, and you'll play a few of them.
I do
and
like
we'll discuss
that you can pay
in a future week.
You can pay £1.50 to play as a Plague Doctor skin.
Or a Plague Doctor skin.
There's a knight and there's a Plague Doctor.
Oh, the Plague Doctor is new.
You can spend.
I want to look at this.
You can spend like what would it be? £2.96, and you can get 2 skins for it.
I was tempted to buy the knight. I may have to buy the Plague Doctor because I'm just imagining what that looks like.
The only problem with the skins is that both of them are helmeted, masked, so you don't get to see the amazing facial models of the characters that pop up in the thumbnail for cheese rolling.
I got my sister to play it and she loved it. I just gave her my Steam Deck. I just handed it to her and I was like, here. And I just heard screaming from the other room. Yeah.
I'm going to go and play this
game.
Fucking now.
Please do. And we will talk about it next week.
Amazing. What a place to finish on. Thank you very much for joining us. We've been Tanked Up and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
www.outoflives.net